We have now been informed of the attributes of the castrated slave servant. He should be very dark-skinned, grim-faced, curly-featured, weak in build, sparse-haired with separated teeth, a high-pitched voice, thick lips, a wide nose, short fingers, short in stature, and thin in depth. Such a one is useful as a servant in the palace, whereas a white servant is of no use in the palace, especially one with red skin. Beware most strongly of the blonde servant. Avoid him, especially one with plucked hair, shining eyes, and eyes that attract judgment. It is said that such a person makes a woman desire him, or facilitates making a woman desire someone other than himself, therefore there is no good in him. Unfortunately, dear viewers, this is what was mentioned in medieval sources on the topic of eunuchs, showing that the selection of eunuchs to watch over white women slaves in Middle Eastern harems was influenced by physiognomy, a pre-modern belief system that claimed moral and sexual traits could be read from physical appearance, a concept now considered unscientific and discriminatory. Dear viewers, in this report we speak of the topic of eunuchs guarding Middle Eastern harems. In both Muslim and non-Muslim lands, rulers found in eunuchs or castrated men who lost their manhood a practical solution to prevent royal women from mixing with men, as this group possessed the physical strength of men while posing no threat to the women of the palace. We therefore can't help but wonder, were eunuchs allowed to see women's privacy and mix with them freely? Did the Sultan always sleep with one eye open, knowing that these men were intermingling with his women? In reality, the ancient world is so much more horrific than we ever imagined from our illusion of safety in the present. In this video, our dear viewers, we remind you that history is filled with disturbing facts and forgotten horrors. When we think of a harem, we imagine beautiful women locked away in a golden cage. The harem is usually imagined as a paradise of beauty and luxury. We picture the harem as silk, marble, and exquisite women. But behind the fantasy, visitors would have encountered something far more unusual: castrated, powerful, and intimidating men standing guard at every threshold. Were these eunuchs allowed to see women's privacy and mix with them freely? One cannot help but question the contradiction. A space meant to protect women's privacy, guarded by men whose presence made true seclusion impossible. How did that work? And why were black eunuchs largely preferred and even exclusively used as possible to white eunuchs to guard Middle Eastern harems? On this subject, dear viewers, this report will be from our channel Harem Motivation. But before we continue, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. We hope this report will benefit you. In the Ottoman Empire, black eunuchs lived among white female slaves because the system lied to itself. Castration, illegal in Islam, was treated as if it erased sexuality, accountability, and sin. A crime committed outside Islamic lands became invisible inside them. The real question isn't how this was allowed, it's how an empire built on religion survived by suspending it. The claim that eunuchs freely mixed with the women of the harem, as shown in the series, has no basis in reality whatsoever. These eunuchs did not pass beyond the gate of the harem. If one of them wished to enter, he had to obtain special permission to do so. Accordingly, these men did not mix extensively with the women of the harem. It is also mentioned that some eunuchs regained their virility. For this reason, they were permitted only to move within the harem passageways and stand at its gate without entering it. Also, dear viewers, a scandal in the Ottoman harem led to the replacement of white eunuchs with black eunuchs. And not only that, but strict conditions were set regarding the physical descriptions that agas had to meet in order to be accepted to work in the palace harem. It is narrated that during the reign of Sultan Murad III, incidents of closeness occurred between harem women and white eunuchs. This matter constituted a scandal inside the palace, leading to the decision to replace white eunuchs with black eunuchs to avoid lineage and paternity issues. It is mentioned, for example, in the book The Unknown Ottoman State, that the use of white slaves in the position of Aga of the Gate of Felicity continued until the year 1572. In that year, Murad III appointed Ahmad Aga al-Habashi to this position, thereby gradually replacing white eunuchs with black eunuchs. This arrangement was intended to further limit opportunities for prohibited relationships and potential transgressions. In practice, preference was often given to eunuchs whose presence would eliminate any doubt regarding lineage, thereby protecting the Sultan from questions of paternity. Medieval sources show that the selection of eunuchs was influenced by physiognomy, a pre-modern belief system that claimed moral and sexual traits could be read from physical appearance, a concept now considered unscientific and discriminatory. The same author adds that it is established, according to research and historical evidence, that a portion of eunuchs regain some of their abilities. For this reason, these measures were taken out of fear of forbidden acts occurring within the harem. Dear viewers, this brings us to the end of today's video. This video is a reminder that these people are not forgotten, these people who had to undergo this profoundly wrong, inhuman, and painful practice. May their souls rest in eternal peace. I hope it has benefited you, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Farewell.